What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Wasitora. I hope you are excited. As far as opening hand goes, we are definitely going to keep on this one. We have two fetch lands. We have a Temple of Malice, which is going to be some good scurry. We'll get the fever. We've got Deathrite Shaman, and hey, we've got two swords. So if you want to imagine Wasitora with two swords in each hand, have some fun with that. And we also have Putrified too. So last time I recall, Brago likes to run a lot of artifacts that enter the battlefield, and hopefully we can use Putrefy to kind of keep him off the battlefield or his silly little artifacts. What do we need to go for? We go for Temple of Malice, get the Scry going. We could go for Deathrite Shaman. There's not a lot out there. Well, actually, we could go for that Evolving Wilds for 3. Let's go Temple of Malice. Let's get the Scry going. See what's on top, or Scurry, according to my Theros pre-release opponent. Let's go and put that on top, and then we're going to go and cover the commanders. I love Read the Bones. One of my favorite draw cards for Commander. Love it. We're playing Wasitora, Flying and Trample. Whenever Wasitora deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. If that player can't, we get a 3/3 Cat Dragon token that is Jund colors, black, red, and green. Drawn to that, Read the Bones. Let's go and get the Misty down. Let's go for the Deathrite Shaman. And then anything else, we'll go and kick it back up. See if our opponent has a counter spell. They might, if they want to go for Deathrite Shaman. Okay, let's say it wouldn't be the end of the world. And then excuse me, sorry about that. I'm just going to kick it back over to our opponent. We are playing against Brago, King Eternal. I think one of my favorite things about draw card. Okay, one of my favorite things about the Conspiracy 2 was when Brago was getting killed. That was a really nice. I took that. I was like, all right, man, Brago deserves that. With how many times I've had so many stuff bounced against me, I'm glad that whatever that little assassin was, Marchesa's assassin, was taking care of him. All right, opponent's going to go for Deathrite Shaman. Take care of that. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, exile any number of target null and permanents you control, then return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. So they do take Deathrite Shaman from us with that Oblivion Ring. Let's go and crack the Misty. Let's see if we can't grab another. Let's grab a red-green source off that Misty. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to grab that Sheltered Thicket. It's going to come into play tapped. And then we'll be able to get down the Scalding Tarn or the Bayou. Savage Lands. Okay. Let's go and do this. Let's go for the Bayou. I don't mind. Our opponent's tapped down. I'd like to get a little bit of card advantage while we can. So let's go ahead and go for, let's go Read the Bones. We're going to scry 2, lose 2. Throw those chicken bones out there. See what sounds good to us. Fracto Signet and Toxic Deluge. Okay, so we go Signet next turn. That'll still allow us to go 1, 2, 3 for the sword. I think I'm okay with both of these, yeah. I'm going to put both of those on top. I don't mind a little bit of ramp off the Signet, and then Toxic Deluge would be a good way to kind of take care of Brago, especially if they tap out for it. And then we can follow it up with Putrified. So, sounds like a plan. But if you're wondering what this deck does, our opening hand is pretty much it. That's what it does. We have lots of removal. We have Putrified, Toxic Deluge, and we have a little bit of Voltron in here. So we have Sword of Feast and Famine, Sword of Fire and Ice. We need to get that down on Wasitora. Now, the cool thing with Wasitora is that if we do give it Double Strike, that would be 2 triggers because it says whenever it deals combat damage to a player. It doesn't say, like, once each combat step. Once it deals combat damage, you're going to get that sacrifice trigger. So, if you can give it Double Strike, that's double cat tokens, which is double the fun. It really is. There we go. Just talked it up. Blood Mist. And this is literally what the deck is, our entire hand now. So that's pretty sweet. Let's go get the Scalding Tarn down. I love it when stuff just pops into the hand like that. Let's go for the Rakdos Signet. Let's go and crack the Scalding Tarn. I think that sounds good. And then I'm going to try not to forget, but I found I have a bunch of my old Nintendo games. I'm going to tell you about that here in a second. So we do have 2 black swords. Let's go for another red-green source, especially with that Signet out there. Yeah, let's go for Taiga. Let's tap the Taiga down on the Signet, tap the Temple of Malice. Let's go ahead and go for the protection from red and blue. I guess we need to go Sword of Fire and Ice. I'd really like to go for Sword and Feast of Famine, but, if we're going to play to our, I guess not technically our outs, but if we're going to have the best protection, it'd be blue, because Brago is blue-white. But yeah, so as far as Nintendo games, I've played Nintendo for a long time. I was a Nintendo kid growing up, and I've saved all of my old Nintendo stuff, and I was cleaning out my the house that I live in. It's an enclosed garage. I mean, I don't live in an enclosed garage. The house that I live in, there's no garage because they converted it into like a media room, or like a second, kind of like a second, basically like a second living room. We're going to go for Wasitora. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get the Savage Lands down. If we want to go for a little bit of a tempo play, I guess we get the Savage Lands down. Actually, look at the Thicket down, because it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and that still puts us online for Putrefy. Yeah, I like that. Let's see if we can't draw out a counterspell. Let's go Rakdos Signet. Tap this down. Let's go for the Let's go for the Sword of Feast and Famine. That way, let's say our opponent taps out for Brago, then we can go for Wasitora on the back end. And we still have Putrefy up to kind of go for that. But yeah, so basically they enclose the garage. It's a really cool place. That's actually where I record. And there's 3 big closets in there. And so one of my closets, it just has a ton of just junk in there. Stuff that we just thrown in there that we need to get rid of. And, well, some of it is. But anyway, I have all my old games in there. And so I've been in the process of cleaning that closet out. And I found my own Pokemon Red cartridge from like way back in the day. And I fired it up and it still works. So I was pretty excited about that. I got to see my Pokemon from when I was little. And if you want to kind of do the backwards math, I was in 6th grade when Pokemon Red came out. And so, pros, okay, sure, go for it. But yeah, so it was really cool. Like I just plugged it into my old, I found an old Game Boy, the batteries were dead, and I put the batteries in it and that worked. And then I put the Game Boy cartridge in and I had to blow on the cartridge a little bit. And got that working up and yeah, it was really cool to see that going. I don't know. I really enjoyed that. It was because I always hear about when what is it? Whenever you find those old cartridges, sometimes that battery dies. So I was really worried about it not working at all. But hey, it worked like hadn't been missing anything at all. Let's go ahead and get the opponent's got. I got 4 mana up and open hand. I feel like we're rolling into a counterspell right now. Do you want us to kind of just slowly roll some stuff out? If we tap out for Gilded Lotus, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or they may simply just not even have a counterspell, and we're just kind of holding back. Do we need to go for Blood Mist? That would be a good check land. Yeah, let's get the... let's go for Gilded Lotus. I like this. Let's go for Gilded Lotus. Let's tap the Signet down. Let's go for Gilded Lotus. 1, 2... Now, we'll cut us off Putrefy. You know, if it does stick, then we'll be online for Putrefy. And then we still have the Savage Lands to play, so we can get that down and then see what we kind of want to go for. Yeah, we'll see if we can't draw out some of those counter spells. Our opponent's kind of being a little bit Clash of Wheels. Counter target spell unless they pay 2. Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. Not going to be able to pay 2. Sorry, Gilded Lotus. Go into the bin. Let's go and get these Savage Lands down, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. So at this point right now, we're kind of in this weird holding pattern. We're waiting for either Brago to get down to see if they have Counterspell backup, or we can start just jamming Wasitora. Now, if you are playing against control, one of the things that you can do is what we're doing right now, slowly rolling out good value pieces that will help give you a lot of value in your later turns if you're worried about counterspell. You know, it's not fun if you get Wasitora out there as quickly as possible and they get counter, then they follow up with Brago, start going to town with Brago. So, if you're playing against control, typically you kind of want to just slow roll out some of your threats, like, you know, roll out those spells that are kind of like, hey, you know, if this resolves, if it gets on the battlefield, awesome. You know, if it runs into a counterspell, it's not the end of the world. So that way you don't get your commander tax up really high, and you can slowly kind of squeeze some value out of some of your plays. But yeah, so that Pokemon Red, pretty cool. I'm definitely a Charizard person, and I think I just turned it on right now, so if you heard that noise. But yeah, I was Charizard growing up. I've always been a fire Pokemon, which is kind of weird because when I go to... Alright, opponent's going to get down Brago. It's game time. Let's see if we can't get down our own flying creature, Wasitora. Or if we wanted to, we can simply go for Toxic Deluge. Let's see how we want to force this. Now, one thing that we can do... Obnixilis. So if we want to tap out for Obnixilis and get a little bit of card draw going, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to cut us off both of our removal sources if we end up going for Obnixilis and they have a counter spell. Yeah, let's go and go for Wasitora. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's going to be enough. Let's do that. Let's tap the the Thicket down. Let's go for green. Let's cast that. That's going to be 1, 2. If they've got a counterspell, we can run it into it. Then we can follow it up with Obnixilis. We have Toxic, Putrefy. I'm okay with rolling this out there. Like I said, counterspell. That's fine. Go for it. All right. They're going to get the Scry going. Because right now, if they swing it with Brago, we're looking at Oblivion Ring and Prismatic... Prophetic Prism or something like that, so that's not the end of the world. So we'll just go and kick it back over there. Kick it back over to them. But yeah, I've always been a Fire Red Pokemon, which is weird because I don't... Typically, red is my least favorite color in Magic. You know, if I'm playing red, it's usually a support, unless I'm just playing like Burn for Modern or something like that. Yeah, I'm not a huge red person, but I've always been a Charmander. Charmander's been my Pokemon, my main jam, and then I've always played Fire Stars with these Pokemon. And in fact, I do. I still to this day, I play a lot of Pokemon. My buddy and I, we lived in college together, And one of the things that we would do is we had Pokemon Day. And whenever a new Pokemon would come out, we would go get it at the store, like Best Buy. I think it would open at like 10. I don't know why it would release on a Sunday. We'd always have Pokemon Day on a Sunday. And so we'd go to Best Buy as soon as they open on Sunday, pick up that Pokemon game, and then we'd just play Pokemon all day. some good some good fun right there. Then we'd also make a break to go get a Little Caesars pizza for each of us. And then thinking about what we used to do. Good thing that only happened about every 2 years or every year, however you wanted to break it down. But yeah, we get a Little Caesars pizza to kind of kind of help us recover from a long day of Pokemon playing. But yeah, that was always fun. We'd always do Pokemon Day, and so Pokemon's really fun to me. I keep buying every time they release a new game. I always buy it, and then I always play it. But one of the things that I don't know, it's hard to get into some of the newer ones, to be honest. Like having that top-down effect really made like the grind of Pokemon a lot easier. With some of the new stuff where they kind of introduced the 3D element, I find myself not really enjoying it as much as the my old stuff. All right, opponent did bounce the Oblivion Ring and took our unfortunately took our Rakdos Signet. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. We still have enough to go for that. Let's see if we can't jam a Putrified. Are we going to try and do that? I feel like we're running into another counterspell if we go for Obnixilis. Let's go to our draw step. Well, let's give it a shot. If they want to bounce that again, so be it. That's going to be black. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's go for the Sword of Feast and Famine on Deathrite Shaman. We're going to go 1 and 2. And then we can actually go and get down Blood Mist. This puts our opponent on doing something. If they're going to tap out to go for Deathrite Shaman, Deceiver, Exarch, okay. And we'll see if they choose to go for that. They're going to go for the tap Deceiver. Tap our Deathrite Shaman more than likely. Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. Now, this one right now, what we can do is just go ahead and go for Toxic. We have the Sword of Feast and Famine on there, so we're going to be able to survive that. We'll need to get it all the way down to 4, but I'll still take care of Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for it. They're tapped down. I like going for this. A good tempo play. And we'll go and pay 4 life on this one. Do we have to worry about any shenanigans? Nah, we'll just go and... Yeah, we'll just do 4 right there. Okay, it's going to take care of their board state, take care of Deceiver and Brago. We're going to unfortunately lose that on Deathrite Shaman. We did try and go for the, swinging with Sword of Feast and Famine, maybe get down Blood Mist. Anything else, we're going to pack us back over to our opponent. Now, that will put Brago back to the command zone. That's going to be 6 mana for them to get that down. So hopefully we can find a spot to get on Wasi. One thing that we do need to do is get some card draw going. So if we can jam Obnixilis to kind of keep Brago off the battlefield, that'd be pretty good. And then we can hopefully kind of stabilize from the good card draw. And once again, we still have Putrefy on the back end to kind of go for that. But either way, Wasitora kind of makes for a interesting game to record for it. Like I feel like there's a lot. It's kind of like Edgar. Like sometimes you just have these really busted games, and it's nice to kind of have a grindy control versus a mid-range match on this one right here. Though historically, or I guess typically, control usually kind of takes down mid-range. But we'll see if we can't kind of change that for today. Drawn to 3 visits. Yeah, let's go for Obnixilis. I think I kind of like this. They kind of slammed that down pretty quick. Maybe they're not having a lot in the hand. If they got a counterspell, they've got it. If they do. Okay, there we go. Let's go for the -3. Destroy Brago. Get out of here, Brago. Now, getting down Obnixilis and going for that -3 is really big for us. They don't really have a lot of creatures out there at this point right now. We don't have to worry about a flash creature coming in. That's really good for us that we don't have to worry about a counterspell. Now we can kind of get that card draw going. We can go for 3 visits, get down Blood Mist, go for Xenagos, and that'll kind of help us maybe push the game over into our tide or on our side of the game. Hopefully get some good value going from that. But yeah, so I've always played Pokemon Red. I've enjoyed that one. My brother, he played Pokemon Blue, which he was a big blue person. He did Blastoise, so that was his jam. But I think the only Pokemon... Man, there was one that I was just not happy with. That was the Firestarter. And it's going to drive me nuts. In fact, I'm going to type that into my phone so I can let everybody know what I'm talking about, actually. Make sure we don't... Okay, we're 1 minute behind on the clock. I just realized I've been talking a lot about Pokemon and Nintendo, and I was like, uh-oh, did we... Am I making sure we're okay on the clock? Alright, let's go and plus up Obnixilis, see if we can't hit the land drop for the turn. Did draw into the Signet, which is good. I'll take that. So we got Obnixilis plussed up, draw a card, lose a life. Now, some of the good stuff in the hand, if we go Xenagos with Wasi, and then go for Blood Mist, the thing we do have to watch out for with the Sword of Fire and Ice, protection from red and blue, protection from black and green, we're actually going to protect ourselves from that Xenagos trigger, so we're going to have to watch out for that. In fact, we're going to go for Wasitora at this point right now. It's going to be 1, 2, It's going to be 7. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we don't have enough to go for it anyway. So let's do a little bit of setting up. So let's go for Explore. And then Golgari's Signet. Okay, sorry. It looked like it cost 3 right there. I was trying to figure out what was going on. All right, we're going to go for the Golgari Signet. Get that down. Let's go for the 3 visits. That way we can search our library for a forest card, put it onto the battlefield. That would just really kind of open our mana up. We have a card draw source over here. And we can just slowly start rolling some stuff out. Let's go ahead and go for the... We have 2 black sources, or actually 3 black sources, a lot of red-green. Let's go ahead and grab that Overgrown Tomb. I'm going to put that down for... No, we don't have to pay 2 on that one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back over to our opponent. So we kind of opened our mana up this turn. We still have Putrefy online if our opponent wants to tap out for Brago. So we can go for that. They do have a couple artifacts out there, so if we need to destroy an artifact. So right now it's just Biding of Thassa. Whenever it deals combat damage to player, draw a card. And then the Prism, which is not too bad. I'd rather to be in Pearl Lake Ancient. Can't be countered. Return things you can control. Okay. Now, do we want to go for Putrefy on that at the end step? Yeah, let's go on. Let's see if they got an answer for it. If they want to return 3 lands back to the hand, that's fine. Actually, we need to tap that filter mana first. It's going to be the death of me. Alright, Golgari Signet mana. There we go. Putrefy on the Pearl Lake Ancient. And then I think next turn we're going to go for Wasitora. That'll be a good way to get down the Sword of Feast and Famine and see if we can't kind of go from there. And we'll go for the Countertails. Return. Okay. Alright, goes back to the hand. Putrefy is going to fizzle out. Good thing is we're ahead on mana now. So that means if they want to tap out for Brago, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana that they have. So they're going to have to really tap out for Brago, and that's going to leave us open for Wasitora. And we still have the Pulse to go for. But yeah, let me look up those fire Pokemon. But yeah, I've played a lot of Pokemon. I've always enjoyed games like that. That's kind of why I really enjoyed Harvest Moon. Just kind of like those really grindy games. Fire starter Pokemon. But yeah, it's just, as far as the new games, I don't know what it is. Like, it's just really hard for me to get into it. I don't know why. Oh, I know what it is. Torchic. I never really liked Torchic. I think, like, Torchic, when it evolved into this final form, and it looks kind of like a Transformer, not Transformers, but like, I don't know, it just doesn't look like a Pokemon. Looks like something from outer space. Like in a, like an anime show or something. Not that that's bad, but it's just like, I don't know, it's so far departed from that Pokemon, like it just didn't look right. Like how sometimes you see magic art that looks a little bit too digital, and it kind of takes you out of that magic feeling. Yeah, that what Torchic evolves into is kind of like, what we got going on? Okay, let's go ahead and, do we want to draw a card? We can minus on something. Yeah, let's go ahead and draw a card. Draw a card and lose a life. Let's go for Wasitora. And I guess we'll go for Sword of Feast and Famine. We do have to watch out for that Brago over there. Yeah, let's go and go for Wasitora. That's going to be us tapping out for 7 mana. Now, if they deal some damage, I can get that Scion token going. Yeah, let's go and crack the Marsh Flats. Let's go and grab the Badlands. Get that into play tapped. I mean, not tapped. Let's go and tap the Badlands down. Go for the Signet. That's going to be 1, 2. Let's tap out for red. Let's go for Wasitora. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will leave us just enough for an equip. So let's go for Wasitora. If they have another counterspell, like I said, so be it. We're going to try our best to get this through. Now, as far as giving us the best protection, one thing is they have Oblivion Ring that keep bouncing and go for Wasitora. Unfortunately, everything we have out there is to not give us protection from white. If we want to have some fun, actually Eldrazi Sky Spawner is not... Oh, there we go. Get it to stick. I guess let's go ahead and go Sword of Feast and Famine. Well, I guess let's just go Sword of Fire and Ice at this point right now. Yeah, we'll just go Sword of Fire and Ice. We'll get an extra bonus. That way, if they do have a bounce spell or something like that, we don't have to worry about that coming across. We'll get that protection from blue on there. If they didn't counter it, they've got 7 cards in the hand, so I'm kind of confused as to what they've got rolling out right now. But if we're going to be completely tapped out, shields down, I think the best way for us to do that is by getting Sword of Fire and Ice on there and then coming across next turn. Now, we do have Pulse to go for, and we can follow it up with Devour Flesh if we want to take care of the Spy. I cannot tell you how hard it is not to call the Eldrazi Sky Spawner the Spy Spawner. I don't know why. It's just it just gets stuck in my head as Spy. So if we got, in fact, we're going to make an editor's note. So the Eldrazi Spy, if we want to swing in, we have to watch out for that, and then we can go for the Pulse on the Spy and then Devour Flesh on the Scion token. So that way they can either sacrifice it if we want to go for a clear board and get some extra damage, and we still have an Ob Nixilis to go for. End hostilities, destroy all creatures and all permanents. Alright. It's going to take care of Wasitora. We still got Obnixilis to go for next turn. But yeah, this has been a good match so far. I definitely welcome this. So, win or lose, we've gotten past the point to where it'll be good. It'll be fun. Okay, see what everyone's going to get in. We've had some good Pokemon talk too. In fact, we'll just go ahead and make this a good Pokemon talk video. Let's see. Drawn to Flesh Bag. Okay. Now, if we tap out for Wasitora, that's going to be 9 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be us completely tapping out. Let's go and draw a card, lose a life. See what we rip into. We got some good stuff to deal with Brago, especially with them going for the Hostilities on their board state. The Devour Flesh, Dragon Speaker. Yeah, let's do some setting up this turn. Let's go Dragon Speaker. That's going to be... let's go double red off that one. Actually helps if we tap for red on that one. Double red off the Firelit Thicket. And then let's go and tap the Bayou down. Let's go for the Dragon Speaker. That'll give us a reduced commander tax next turn. Let's go and go for the Blood Mist. I think so. We get the double strike with Sword of Feast and Famine. Whew. Yes. Let's get down the Blood Mist. Let's tap the Filter Mana first. It's going to be 1, 2 red and that. We'll go and leave the Savage Lands up. Go for the Blood Mist. And do we want to go ahead and equip the Sword of Fire and Ice on the Dragon? Yeah, I think let's go for it. We got nothing else going on. Might as well start going Beat Sticks. That's going to be 4/4 with Double Strike. Extra triggers make them start discarding some stuff. Dragon Speaker, he has the Blood Mist. This is where I have a lot of fun in Commander in that, you get this enchantment down, you look at the art, and let's get it over to our opponent, that way they can do their thing. So if you look at Blood Mist, I don't know, I just love thinking about Blood Mist, kind of like doing like that creepy like Blood Mist and Dragon Speaker Shaman, just being like, yeah, he's jacked, ready to go. But yeah, Pokemon talk. So I've always played, you may return target creature to its owner's hand. That will not be protection from blue. That will be the Dragon Speaker, so we're going to miss out on that one. But yeah, I've always enjoyed Pokemon, and I'm trying to remember. I think to this day, Pokemon Red's still my favorite one. I really did enjoy Pokemon Ruby, I think. Yeah, Ruby. The Game Boy Advance. I did enjoy Pokemon Ruby. That was a lot of fun because I felt like it was a really good balance of like old school Pokemon gameplay and kind of new modern Pokemon gameplay, whatever you want to call it. Really fun. All right, we drew on to Kolagon's Command. Yeah, I guess let's just go and force some. Let's get the card draw going still. Draw a card, lose a life. Hopefully we don't time out. I need to make sure we don't get too. We can get a little bit ahead on clock. Okay, so we draw into Kolagon, Storm's Fury. We can dash it for 5, equip with the Sword of Feast and Famine. Double Strike? Yeah, I think I like that. I actually like it a lot. Let's do that. We need to get some stuff going. Let's go for the Golgari Signet. Let's go for the dash ability. Cast with dash. This can be 1, 2. Let's go for red. And that actually works out to where we can get the Sword of Feast and Famine on it, get that untapped step, and then still get the Sword and Feast and Famine on there, get the double strike, make them discard some cards. Kind of puts them on having a counterspell for Kolagon on this one. And then worst case scenario, we just follow up with the Dragon Shaman. Let's go 1, 2. Get that equipped on there. And that's going to give us protection from black and green, which will turn us online for the Blood Mist. So let's see if they have anything to kind of show for it. Cackling Counterpart. Alright, man. Actually, if we go... I think this might work, maybe? If it doesn't have a target, I think that might work. It might already be on the stack, so we'll see. We're going to go for Devour Flesh anyway. I think it might. I think they already had a target, so... Oh, never mind, it did work. Sweet. I'll take that. Okay, let's go and swing in. Let's get that Blood Mist. Let's get the mist in the air. Kolagon's Fury. Kolagon's Storm's Fury. Let's go and push in. That's going to be 12 coming across. Get that untapped step. Oh, yes, and allow us to get some good stuff going, too. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty... there's lines of play like that sometimes where if you're doing commentary, I'm kind of like, I think this is it. I think this might work, and that did right there. Glad we saw that. Okay, swinging in for 6. Whenever he attacks, creatures you control get +1. Oh, this is wonderful. We got 7. This is going to be 14 coming across. We've got Obnixilis following up. And as far as the clock goes, we're almost even on the clock. All right, swinging in for 7. It's going to put our opponent down to 31. Then we'll get that Sword and Feast of Famine trigger. Alright, we're going to discard a card. We're going to untap all of our lands. There's not really much we can do at instant speed. We have Kolaghan's Command, but I just kind of want to leave that. We'll just leave that back for right now. Alright, deal that extra damage. I'll have to get rid of another card. Let's kind of see what they're discarding, just see if we can't get a feel for what's happening. Okay, then let's go ahead and let's go for the Dragon Speaker Shaman. It's going to be double red. Yeah, and then I like leaving up Kolaghan's Command. We're going to leave that if there's any hasty creatures or something like that, and then Kolaghan comes back to the hand. Alright. Anything else, we're going to pass it back over to our opponent. Now, with Kolaghan's Command, whenever a dragon... No, excuse me. Yes, with Kolaghan's Command, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Mainly, probably what we're going to be using is the destroy target artifact. Maybe kind of if you want to blast the Biden of Thassa. It's an artifact, so we can destroy that, and then... Okay, opponent's going to scoop it up. That's going to be enough off the dash ability with the Sword of Feast and Famine. So, kind of junded our opponent out. I'll definitely take that. It's always good to play against Brago, and to get a nice value win like that, I'll take it. Our opponent is going to scoop it up on Kolaghan, coming across with the Sword of Feast and Famine. So, hey, that is a win in our book. If you enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed the Pokemon talk, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.